This video will cover the various selection modes and creation of what you might be used to refer to as objects, which are in Modo called items. The material editor and UV unwrapping is in the next video. Modo is, in my opinion, undoubtedly the best modeling package out there with its intuitive tools, but it's not set up to be as fast as Blender out of the gate. But with some corrections, it does not fall far behind though. So that's what we are going to look at in this video. Modo manipulates the scene camera with the Alt key and goes into various modes by using it in conjunction with the Control or Shift key and the left and right mouse button. You can select between various camera control schemes in Modo, but if you get used to the Modo layout, it is, in my opinion, one of the best schemes out there. Modo defaults to trackball rotation, and if you don't want this, you can turn it off in the preferences under the input and remapping settings. Like Blender 2.8, Modo switches between the selection modes with 1, 2, 3, and 4 selects based on the material or other types of selection based on what you have selected in the drop menu. The number 5 button is the item selection, which again you may be more used to think of as objects. 6 is the pivot mode, and the pivot is not the origin of the object, but a bit like Blender's cursor, which you can use to move the items around. The actual origin is called center, which can be accessed by pressing 7. We can move the center or pivot around by clicking on them and pressing W to get the transform handles. So as we can see, as we move the center point, the position coordinate does reflect that change. But if we move the pivot, the position coordinate relative to the world origin does not change. We can also activate the snapping tools by hitting X and snap it to where we want it to be. We can access the snapping options by holding Alt and clicking on the snapping button in the toolbar. Notice that the Alt key also modifies the other buttons to options and also converters, which you can also switch between by holding Alt and pressing 1, 2, 3. You can also switch between these modes by pressing Alt and Q. Now you might be asking, is there an easier way to move the center around than manually moving it like this? And yes, there is. First, let's make the pivot and center always visible in the viewport by going into viewport properties by pressing O. And under the visibility, we can choose to see the pivot and center of selected items. Then we move up to the edit menu where we find the center and pivot to bounding box. This is something that we are likely to use often, so let's create hotkeys for these. By hitting F5, we get the command history window where we find a list of the latest operations. Here we can right-click the command and choose Map Command to Key. So in this new window, I can, for instance, try to set the center command to numkey 5, but Modo will tell me that this combination is in use. The num keys are used for setting different shading styles and camera orientation, and I don't really use these all too often, so I will overwrite these myself. I will put the num key 8 to up, 5 to center, 2 to bottom, 4 to left, 6 to right, 7 to front, and 1 to back. So now it is very easy to move the center around, which is very handy when aligning the coordinates to world space upon export. Like if I want to rotate this object in a way in another software, for instance. When it comes to moving the items about, we need to first enter the item selection mode, which again is the 5 button. Modo does not quite have the convenient S, R, and G keys, which works with number input, for instance, so adjusting the transforms takes a bit more effort in Modo. We can still work without the handles by using the middle mouse button to move it along a plane which will affect it in 2 axes, or holding down Control and left click dragging to move the object around in a implied directional axis with the mouse. There are always one axis not adjustable, so you will need to move the camera around a bit to adjust it to the desired axis sometimes. You may also want to look into the tool properties of the WER tools, like the scale tool, and disable the negative scale checkbox so it is easier to flatten out a edge loop without overshooting it, as you can't use the SZ0 combo in Modo anymore. To make a selection in any edit mode, just hit Q to enter the selection mode. You can then click and even hold in to make surface selections. Hold Shift to add to the selection or hold Ctrl to deselect. You can use the middle mouse button, which selects depending on which lasso style you have set under the select menu. There's also the loop selection by pressing L and ring selection with Alt plus L. To select everything, it is now Alt plus Shift plus A. To deselect, just click somewhere else in the viewport while you are in selection mode. To select in between a selection, instead of Ctrl plus left click, it is Shift plus right click. Or select the start and the end and press Shift and G. To extrude a surface, you can press Shift and X. And if you hold Shift and click, you will extrude again. And this is similar to Ctrl plus right click in Blender. If you hold Ctrl, you will move it along the axis implied by the cursor like the other transform tools. To delete surfaces, you don't have the list selection like in Blender. There is just the delete key, and that's all there is to say about that really. If you want something like dissolve edge or vertex, you can find a remove button under the vertex or edge tools. This essentially does the same thing as the dissolve option in Blender. Bridging does not have a hotkey as far as I know, but we can set one up ourselves. By default, the F is set to flip the normal direction of the selection, which we won't use too often, so we can overwrite this hotkey with the bridge instead. If we go to the Edge category menu and click Bridge, the tool becomes activated but not applied. This is one of the common criticisms of Modo, that it is a bit clicky. But let's open up the command history window again and assign a hotkey. Same way as before, just right click the command and let's overwrite the F key. It's still not as good as in Blender. It does not fill in the quads, for instance, by a single edge selection, but it's alright. On the bridge here we have the add loop tool, which is not assigned a hotkey either, so we can assign it with the similar Ctrl R, which will overwrite a refire command, which repeats the previous command, but I personally don't mind not having this. The add loop tool can be moved around until you drop the tool or press the middle mouse button to place a new one. You can also snap it to the center of the current edge by holding Ctrl. If you want to add more loops, you need to use the loop slice tool instead, which inserts edge loops to the selected edges. This is by default set to Alt and C. You can then enter the tool properties and adjust how many loops you want to insert. To slide an edge, it is not GG, but it's simply S. And I highly advise going into the tool properties and enabling slip UVs so that the edge in the UV map also slides to match the offset. To merge vertices, edges or faces, you can either use the join or join average command under the vertex, edge or polygon column menus. The merge command on top merges the vertices within a certain radius from each other, like the remove doubles in Blender. To merge individual vertices, we can use the join command in any selection. As we select two vertices and click join, we get a pop-up window with some settings, but as we click OK and it is applied, we can head over to the command window again, which is F5, and we can hotkey the string of command to a key press, like Alt and M. And every time we apply this hotkey to another selection, we won't get the same window up again. It just runs through the command of string that we chose before. If we want to join average it is easier to just use the join average below, which we can also assign a hotkey. Personally, I'm using a mouse with a lot of buttons on it, and I'm using the hotkey assignment in Modo or Blender in conjunction with the hotkey presses in the mouse software. So I don't have to reach across the keyboard much. So in my case, I simply apply the Shift key to the Alt-M hotkey, and if you don't have a mouse like that, then you may want to find something that is easier to reach. But that covers the basic editing tools, and if you can just go through the column menu here and see what's there. And remember, you can easily assign hotkeys for those which does not have those yet. And you can also open the input editor to get an overview of all the key bindings, even though that editor is probably a bit confusing at first. There's also a link in the description to a website with the hotkeys organized in list, which is pretty useful. Alright, so let's talk about creating and organizing items. Adding more items can be done in the Create menu. Left clicking allows you to define the dimensions yourself, which becomes super convenient as you start working on more complex models, and you can drop the tool by hitting Q. But take note that the new cube we just created is assigned to the active item that existed from before within the scene. If you want to do it on a new object or item, you need to press N for new. We can now see that it sets the new item as active. We can then draw out the new box by holding Ctrl this time, so we get a proportional cube, and holding Shift allows us to create new cubes without dropping the tool. However, if you just want this standard cube as a new item without all the fuss, just hold Shift and left click on the icon. It will then be created for you in the world center. But perhaps further into a larger project where we won't be working out of the world origin anymore, then it would be easier to just use the N key and use the control modifier key to create cubes wherever you want it to be. We can also duplicate objects if needed. Shift D creates an instance of the item, so every change you apply to the original item, which will be selected upon entering any form of editing mode, will be applied to the instances. But to simply duplicate the item without the instancing, just press Ctrl D. If you want to parent or align items, you only need to drag the item over the other in the viewport and a list will appear with various operations. You can also memorize this list and hold the modifier key and just drop the item before it shows up at all. As we've noticed here, Modo defaults to setting inactive meshes to wireframe mode, which can be overwritten by pressing O and heading down to the inactive meshes, and here we can set the shading style. Personally, I prefer the default shading style and setting the wireframe overlay to none. The O button is in general used as a viewport property menu across the various viewports, so if you want to change something about the appearance of something, try the O menu. Now that we have all these items in the scene, we can press A to fit all the items to our screen. To fit only the selected to the screen, press Shift and A. And when you are in item selection mode, you can also press F. But if you are in any edit mode and press the F key, it is now used for bridging. So it's probably a better habit to get used to the Shift and A combination. Also, if you want to set the camera on the perpendicular angle of a selection, you can press Ctrl and A. So while the camera fitting being set to such a central key as A may feel weird at first, it becomes nice after a while to have all the camera behavior set around that area. The G key is also pretty handy as it centers the camera to the mouse cursor position. As for the transforms, freeze is the equivalent of apply in Blender, and reset sets the position coordinate and rotation back to the default world space. Zero lets you keep the rotation and position of the center unchanged, but it shows the values in zeros. It does this by storing the transforms in channels and adding them to a new matrix that is referenced in the properties list. You can add or remove these matrices if you so choose to later. Now for the action centers. If you are missing the Blender cursor at this point, you can sort of use the handle tools within Modo the same way by setting the pivot mode or action center to automatic by pressing Alt and A and clicking the viewport. You can get a list of these modes in the action menu popover, but most of these are conveniently hotkeyed for you already. A very useful action center is Element, which you can access by pressing Alt and Z. And this mode sets the handles to the normal of the clicked vertex or edge or polygon. And this is often more convenient than the automatic mode, which orients the handles to the world axis. Other useful ones is the selection with Alt and S, which sets it to the average angle of the selection. Alt and X sets it to local, where you can select clusters of faces, for instance, and adjust them all according to the handles of one of the clusters. And finally, there's Alt and W for world origin. Modo also has some unfortunate key bindings when it comes to hiding and unhiding. We can hide objects with H, but to unhide we need to press U. But to hide everything else but the selected, it's Shift H. So that works similarly to Blender. But we can set the unhide to, for instance, Alt H by going into the command history again, pressing U to get the unhide command, and then we just remap this to Alt H, and then we can set it there. So now we can press Shift to hide one. We can press Shift H to hide everything else, and we can press Alt H to reveal everything else. So now it's similar to Blender again. And last but not least, let's make sure we go into File and Config Save to make sure we save the system configurations and all the hotkeys for future projects.